Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to the Airbrush Garage. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thanks for coming back. Today, I'm going to show you how to buff out this airbrushed artwork on this guitar that I did a few videos ago. I'll pop a card up above so you can check out how I painted this dead man's hand. But when I first started doing this stuff, I see people buffing and I would always be afraid. My artwork really came out good. I was really happy with the airbrush. And oh my God, I'm going to have to put sandpaper to this thing. I'm going to ruin my artwork. Okay, so this was well cleared, as you'll see on the video. If you flip over to the video for the dead man's hand, you'll see that there's 3 coats of clear on this. So there's plenty of clear on it and you won't get to your artwork because you're going to be sanding with some really fine sandpapers. But I'll tell you what, it is as smooth as glass now. I've learned how to do this. It's really simple once you get past the fear of doing it, and it's a great technique, and it really makes your artwork just pop, shine, and gets rid of all that dust. Let's face it, we're the Airbrush Garage. Just like you're out in your garage, you're gonna get some dust. So you're gonna have to learn this technique, so stick around. If you like this content, please consider subscribing. Hit the bell so you get future notifications. Don't forget to check out all my Amazon affiliate links down below for all the products I use in this video. And with that, let's get started. All right, so I'm gonna start off with some 1200 grit sandpaper and a sanding block. You're gonna wanna use a sanding block because it keeps everything nice and even and level as you're sanding. You don't wanna try to do this with your fingers and some sandpaper. Trust me, I've tried this in the past, it doesn't work. It's impossible to keep your clear coat nice and level with just your hand. So you're gonna wanna give everything a good once over, and this is gonna really bring out any dust particles that are in the clear coat. Once you do that, you wanna feel around, you wanna see where your spots are rough yet, where you might see some dust. Pick up your guitar after you dry it off, take a look at it, turn it in the light, and you really will see where all of those dust particles really do get revealed. So this is a process that you're going to have to do several times: sanding, drying, taking a look. You really want to use that other hand to just feel along the surface, and you'll feel those dust particles too, or any other impurities or defects that you will have in your clear coat. Whether it be a little ripple or a bump, whatever you're trying to get out. Use that free hand to keep feeling over your project. So I'm using a paper towel here too, along with the terry cloth, to dry everything off, and I'm giving it a good look. You want to turn that guitar all different angles of the light, so because you may not see the dust in one direction of light, and then you turn the guitar and you see it in the other. So you want to, again, repeat this process several times. Notice I clean off my sandpaper quite a bit. You want to do that because you want to keep your sandpaper clean and your surface nice and wet, so your sandpaper just glides across the surface. Again, repeating the process. Now you want to dry everything off, bring it up in the light, turn it, take a look. Now once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to move to 2000. I'm going to measure up my sandpaper here, trim it up to my sanding block, trim off the excess. And at this point with 2000 grit, you're basically doing a lot of polishing and just getting any little imperfections that still may be there. And you're just kind of basically buffing or polishing them out. As you can see, I'm doing the whole surface of the guitar. Now I'm going to pick it back up and see if I see anything, because I may see some stuff yet. If I do, it's going to be very slight. But again, you want to turn it in all angles of your light. Dry it off good. See, I can see a little bit of imperfection right there, maybe some right there. So wet your sandpaper and keep going. I'm applying medium pressure here, just because again, it's 2000, it's very fine grit sandpaper, and I'm basically just buffing or rubbing out the whole guitar. Once I dry it, I put it up in the light. It feels nice and smooth. Give it one last dry here. I think I'm ready to buff. have some machine glaze. I have an ultra fine foam pad for a 6-inch buffer. Again, the buffer I have is about a $60 buffer. I didn't go out and spend an arm and a leg on a buffer. I use this buffer on cars, boats, and projects like this, and it does just fine. It does a great job. I'm going to be starting off here on a slow speed. I'm just in about 2, maybe 2 to 3 on the dial. You want to put the buffing compound on your pad, spread it all over your guitar, and just work the product into the clear coat at a low speed. And you're applying just light to medium pressure, letting the buffer basically do all the work. Once I feel I got it good and rubbed in, I'm going to sit back and let that dry. And I'll take a terry cloth. I'm going to take off all of the dry excess and just rub it out. At this stage, it should feel really, really smooth. It should be like running that terry cloth over a sheet of glass. So now I'm going to pick up the speed a little bit, and I'm going to get it polished. So I'm going to be here about 5 or 6 on my dial. And again, you notice also too, I don't start the buffer and then put it down on the project. I stop the buffer, I put it on the project, then I start the buffer. Very important key back to buffing. You don't want to get that buffing wheel flying, super fast and then you hit your project. You want to put it on the project with the wheel stopped and then start your buffer. So at this stage, I don't have any extra product on the guitar. I just got my buffing wheel up a lot higher, almost double the speed, a little bit more than double the speed I was doing in the first step, and I'm just polishing at this point. Now there is some product left on the wheel that you're going to sit back and let dry, and then in a few minutes you come back and you hit it with the terry cloth like I'm doing right here. And there you have it. Beautiful. Well, there you have it. Fully buffed out paint job. It's that simple. I used to really be afraid to do this particular technique, but when I found out how easy it really was and I wasn't going to screw up my artwork, I just do it almost on any and every piece that I do. Got all the dust out of it. It's as smooth as glass. Got a nice shine to it with the buffing wheel. Hey, look, I didn't go out and spend a lot of money on that buffer. I spent about 60 bucks. That's all you need. I mean, you can go out if you really want to go out and buy the $300 and $400 buffers, go right ahead. But I spent about $60 on that buffer, and I buffed my boat with it. I buff all my paint jobs with it. I buff my cars with it. It works great. Again, you don't got to go out and spend an arm and a leg to get really good results. So there you have it. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing. Hit that bell so you get future notifications. Check out my Amazon affiliate links down below for all the products I use in this video. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.